Hey everyone. You know, I didn't watch the fight or anything tonight. One, because I was I was asleep. I worked today and my body just conked out, so I was tired. But obviously this was a fight that a lot of people wanted to see. It's CM Punk against Mickey Gall, CM Punk's UFC debut. Now, Punk had signed with UFC, in case some people don't know, back in 2014, a few months after he left WWE. Well, not a few months, but, well, yeah, around that. I'd say about 4 to 3, maybe 5 months after he left WWE. I'd say around that. CM Punk left WWE around that time. So it was a little after, like, maybe several months, and he signed with UFC. Now, a lot of people pretty much were thinking his fight's going to be soon. He's going to train. It might be in 2015. It wasn't almost until 2 years later that he debuted. Now, there were other reasons. I think he had to deal with some injuries, stuff like that. I don't really know. But also knowing how CM Punk is mentally, he's the kind of individual that wants to, keep working out, keep training until he's good. Until he feels he's ready to take it to that next level. Until he's ready to make his debut. And obviously that was part of why the reason we waited. He wanted to make sure he was ready. So, CM Punk has his debut. And a lot of people, even before this, were predicting he was going to get destroyed. But there are those that defended him and said, oh no, he's not going to get destroyed. He's going to win. He's going to prove everybody wrong. Well, even my nephew, who's home from the Navy, he predicted that CM Punk was, if you saw the special and everything, he was getting better. That he might surprise people. Well, the fight happened tonight, and I give all the respect in the world to CM Punk for at least trying to cross over. I give him all the respect. He worked hard. Put his heart into it. He trained. He did what he had to do. But I don't think the passion. But honestly, I don't think the passion was there. I really don't. Don't get me wrong. He put a great. He delivered a great post-match, a post-fight promo. He did a great post-fight interview promo. But, despite, what he said, which was good, and, I do agree with you, Alex, Deluxe Man, that what he said was positive right there in his post-fight interview, that no matter it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, you get back up and you keep trying, you get better, and all that. I totally agree with what Punk said in his post-fight interview. I really do. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't. But, again, I think the passion really wasn't there. I think the reason Punk spent 2 years devoting himself to this, working as hard as he could, trying to get better, wasn't because he had a passion for mixed martial arts. I think, in a sense, and I know I might get some flack for this, I think it was the fact that he had a passion to prove the doubters, and mostly the company he quit, WWE, wrong. He wanted to prove the doubters that thought he's making a mistake, and mostly he wanted to prove the WWE wrong. And unfortunately, right now, those in WWE and those that doubted him were not proven wrong. They were proven right. And maybe there was a part of him that just wanted to see maybe if he did what Brock did, WWE might want to bring him back. Maybe he has this. Maybe part of the reasoning, the motivation behind this was to, get WWE's attention, saying, "Hey, look, see, even I could cross over to UFC. Maybe you want to give me a part-time, big money contract, just like you gave Brock." Maybe that's part of it, but again, like I said, maybe that's part of it. Who knows? I can't really say, but I'll give credit where credit is due. I mean, Punk went out there, and he, obviously he wanted to do this, but like I said, mentally, I think his head wasn't there yet. I think mentally he was still, mentally, I think, like I said, the passion, it wasn't there. The mentality, the focus wasn't there, because I think, in my opinion, he was still passionate about throwing salt in the face of WWE. He was still mentally focused on trying to show the WWE, hey, look, even I could cross over to mixed martial arts. Maybe you want to offer me a big part-time contract like you've done Brock. Maybe you want to make me untouchable. I don't really know, but to me, if he was really focused and passionate about this and ready for this, he would have given Mickey Gile a run for his money. He would have beaten Mickey Gile. I mean, here you have Brock Lesnar, despite what you might think about him, going over in UFC 200 over a guy in Mark Hunt, even by unanimous decision. And he hadn't been to UFC for several years. The point is, my point is here, again, I respect CM Punk for trying. I'm always going to be a CM Punk fan. I respect the fact that he voices his own opinion, says what he wants to say, and he doesn't give two, excuse my language, God, two fucks about it. Or doesn't give two, again, excuse my language, God, two fucks about what anybody thinks about him or what he says. But I look at this, and I know he wants to improve. I don't see him leaving the UFC. I don't see him leaving mixed martial arts yet, but I just don't think tonight he was passionately ready or mentally ready. I think he was still mentally focused and passionately focused on trying to throw salt in the WWE's wounds or in their eyes by saying, hey, look, even I can do mixed martial arts. Hey, maybe you want to give me a big fat contract like you did Brock Lesnar. I don't know. So, again, I respect what he wants to do, and, hopefully he keeps at it, just for a little while. Maybe he'll take this time, like he says, to get back up and get better, and maybe his next fight won't be for another year or so at least he could train more and kind of get an idea of, okay, you can't, be defensive, you got to be on the offense, you got to keep attacking. So, hopefully he won't have his next fight for maybe another 6 months, maybe a year. Give him time to heal up and give him time to train more and learn, hey, you got to be offensive, not defensive. You got to mix things up. And hopefully once he does that and learns that and retrains and gets better, that his next fight won't just be, less than 120 seconds. Around that. So, I respect CM Punk. Phil Brooks, I give you all the respect in the world, my friend. You went out there, you did what you wanted to do, you trained, you devoted yourself to it, You know, you even had UFC document your evolution from wrestler to fighter. But obviously, Punk, feel, just my opinion, being honest with you, I don't think the passion and the mentality was there yet. I think he was still passionately focused and mentally focused on trying to prove the WWE wrong. And maybe in your mind, in your heart, you wanted to show them that, hey, even I can go over to UFC and become a star, maybe even in defeat. Maybe you want to offer me a contract or something. I don't know. But I don't think the passion of them. I don't think you were passionately ready yet. I don't think mentally you were ready, mentally focused yet. But I do believe that once you get better, you get back in that octagon after training for maybe another 6 months or a year for your next fight, that you will be victorious that time, that next time, that you will win that fight, that you will go beyond one round, you'll go into 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and whether or not it's by unanimous decision, I truly believe, CM Punk, Phil Brooks, you will win your next fight. I really do. But I think honestly you were just too, in my opinion, and I think some people may or may not agree with me, you were not mentally ready yet. You were not passionately ready yet. You just, I think honestly, and I know I repeat myself in this video, you were just more mentally focused and passionately focused on proving the WWE wrong and trying to throw salt in their eyes, and I guess try to say, hey, look, even I can cross over and be a UFC star. You know, maybe you want to offer me a big contract like you did Brock. I don't know. So all I'm gonna say, folks, is I respect CM Punk for what he did, but I don't think he was mentally or passionately ready or mentally focused or passionately focused yet. The only thing I think he was, in my opinion, he was mentally and passionately focused on with this was, like I said, to prove the WWE wrong, to prove any wrestling promotion that thinks he's making a mistake wrong, and also to throw salt in the eyes of WWE, like, hey, look, even I can cross over. You know, maybe you want to give me a contract. You know, so maybe you want to let me, you know, have a big time contract with a schedule of when and where I can compete, and not get in trouble for anything. Say what I want to say and not get in trouble. So that's all I'm really going to say on it, folks. Again, I respect CM Punk for doing what he did tonight. You know, at least dedicating himself to wanting to do this, to get himself ready for this fight. But I think mentally and passionately he wasn't ready yet. I think he was more mentally focused and passionately focused and trying to throw salt in the WWE's eyes. So that's all I'm going to say. So let me know what you guys think down below. I know some people may or may not agree with this, and I will talk to you all later.